fellow classmates. Thank you for watching my video and providing me some feedback on my final project. This is my website homepage, and at the top I have my different classes that I'm teaching. My final project is focusing on Algebra 1, and I have created a scatterplot web quest. So the students would simply go to the website, click on the drop-down scatterplot web quest in order to get started. At the top, we have the standards that we are going to be covering. So we have the one main content standard that we're covering is line of best fit given bivariate data. And then there's several technology standards that this web quest does emphasize. Empowering our learners to take an active role in their own learning and making sure that they meet their goals. They are knowledge constructors because they're going to be using the resources to construct their own knowledge in a creative way and have the opportunity to work at their own pace. They are going to be innovative designers and creative communicators in their final part of the web quest as they use various technology tools in order to design and create their own presentation and using the technology in their own imaginative ways as they continue through this process. Then I have the learning objectives for this web quest that they are going to be explore, discover, and master how to create, use, and read scatter plots and lines of best fit. The expectation is that the students would log in and go to the website following the process of the web quest and completing each of the tasks as they go. The first task that they have is going to be a self-guided lesson using Nearpod. The students would then click on the button provided. They can copy and paste the class code, or they could simply write it down and type it in. But they're going to go to the website, then they're going to copy and paste the code, type in their name, and go ahead and get started. This allows the students to go at their own pace. It provides them with guiding questions throughout the learning experience to see how they're doing. Once they've answered the questions, it does provide them with the solutions so that they can check the answers. With having the interactive questions, I then have access to that through Nearpod so I can keep track and monitor their progress. When they're finished with the learning of the self-guided lesson, they would then go to Desmos for an inquiry-based activity. This gives them yet another opportunity to do some hands-on activities with scatterplots, manipulating the data points and really understanding what it is. So they're going to click on the Desmos scatterplot activity button. It takes them directly to the activity. My students have gone to this many times, so they know they're going to continue without signing in, type in their name, and then they can get started. Just like Nearpod, this is all interactive, and I have access to all of the students' responses. They're going to type in their answers here. They can share it with the class, but they're going to go through the activity and manipulate all of these points and really figure out how scatter plots work. So this gives the students a hands-on electronic way to model scatter plots and really investigate how they work. The next part is going to be a vocabulary review. Vocabulary is always very important for them to know, so we're going to use Quizlet. So they are going to then go to the Quizlet link and they can choose 3 of these activities in order to help them review their vocabulary. This gives them choice of how they want to review. There's different games, or they could just do straight up flashcards. They could take a test, however they want to review, but they have to do 3 of those activities. Finally is their assessment. So then they're going to do a checkup using quizzes, and this allows the students to kind of see where they are at, but this also allows me to see where they are at. So they are going to copy the class code and go to the quizzes checkup. They click on join class, and they've done this many times, so they are aware that they have to click on the join the class button. Enter the code, and then they would start taking the quiz. If they have started it before, then they can go ahead and log back in, and it's going to provide them with questions. They can get started, and it tells them instantly whether they get it right or they get it wrong, so that they're getting an instant feedback on how they're doing. At the end of the quizzes, they are going to then get a score, and based on that score is going to determine what their final steps are for the web quest. So if they score a 70 or higher, then they're going to click on the 70 or higher button. If they get a 70 or less than a 70, they're going to click on the less than 70 button. For those students that show mastery with the standard, they are going to go ahead and complete the challenge quest, where they are going to choose a set of correlations, and they are going to collect their own data, create a scatter plot, and answer the questions. Then they are going to create their own 3 to 5 minute presentation using some sort of media, or they could do paper pencil if they want, but I'm going to encourage them to use technology to do this. And then they would make sure that they have submitted it before the unit test. The final step is the exit survey, which allows me to see kind of what they thought of the web quest, how they thought it was helpful, and if they feel confident with the material. For those students that did not master scatter plots yet, they would then go to the score less than a 70 button, and they have a redemption assignment. So they would then go to Khan Academy and get a second observation, a second glance at the material. This gives them a different learning objective. They can see it more visually, they can practice more problems. So this is some differentiation for the students with different learning styles of needing more time, more examples, or seeing the material in a different way. So once they have completed that activity on Khan Academy, they can then complete the redemption quizzes. This is similar to the original quizzes, but it is different questions, different class code. So they would type that in just as before. They would go to join a class and go ahead and get started. And hopefully after this, it again lets them see how they're doing. It tells them if they get it right or wrong, and it gives them that score at the end. So they have instant feedback on how they're doing. I have all of that data as well through the quizzes spreadsheets. So I can see which students are still needing more help and which students have got it. When they're finished, they would then complete the exit survey, just like the other group, so that I can get some data and information from them about the web quest. So thank you very much for reviewing this. I feel like all of the technology uses are really self-guided and student-driven. So as a teacher, I would be there to facilitate and assist my students as they completed this. This is a standard that they have seen before in 8th grade content, so this is a review of material for them, and they should be able to work independently and complete the web quest. Thank you.